and dish out the deciding factor in this one. Our guest for the day, Good Morning Football Weekend's own Mike Garafolo. Cowboys-Rams, Hollywood, tomorrow night. What's the deciding factor?
The deciding factor, Chris Richard making the rounds of the head coaching circuit. Definitely in the mix in Miami. I think it's him or Brian Flores right now for that Dolphins job. And you can see on tape the difference that he has made for this Cowboys defense. It's that energy. It's that Seattle energy. I mean, I hate to keep saying that every time a guy leaves Seattle defensively and goes somewhere else, but you can see it. It's that attitude. It's that energy that just smacked me in the face when the cameras went live here and you guys brought it, boom, right in your mouth. That's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to do it to the Rams right in their mug. I actually like this matchup better for Dallas than if they had gone down to New Orleans, despite the fact that they beat the Saints in the regular season. I said, I think that thing plays differently in the Superdome. Now, we'll see that maybe the matchup for them the following week if they should pull off this upset. But I like this one. Hit them in the face, disrupt that running game, and then maybe you can pull this upset.
Kyle, which game do you want to talk about?
I would love to talk about Colts Chiefs. How good is this game? How incredible is this atmosphere going to be in Arrowhead? And my question, is this going to be the week that the Chiefs defense comes to life and saves their season? I mean it. I know the stars are going to show up. I know that Andrew Luck is going to be fantastic. I know Mahomes and Hill. I love all those guys. I think this game, even with all the star power, is going to be decided by some people that maybe people across the country don't even know. Let me give you an example. This game is going to be decided by people like Kendall Fuller. Kendall Fuller is a corner on the Chiefs, a former Redskin. The team traded him in part for Alex Smith coming off a Pro Bowl season. They believe in you. Kendall Fuller, make a play, my man. Steven Nelson, you ever heard of him? You should have. He's their corner. They traded Marcus Peters in part because they believe in Steven Nelson. Make a play, they believe in you. Anthony Hitchens, linebacker, signed a big, fat contract. 5 years, $45 million. My man, make a play against Marlon Mack and Andrew Luck. And lastly, Ron Parker, a safety, a Chiefs safety. These are the guys who are going to determine this game. You've been there a long time, my man. You've been there 6 years. You've been through the bad playoff losses. You've been through the losses at Arrowhead. Make a play. They believe in you. I completely, implicitly believe in Mahomes and Hill and all those guys. It's these role players on defense who will decide who plays the Chargers-Patriots winner.
The name that people know in the secondary is Eric Berry. Has not practiced this week. I tweeted out yesterday this team, as far as their personnel packages, is preparing as if he will not be available. Not ruled out yet, but working with their contingency plans all week at this point.
I'm looking at Eagles-Saints in the Dome. The deciding factor, when I even hear that phrase, I think, whose hands do I not want the ball in this game? Either way, and I'm not giving, we're making picks. We're going to do it later on in the show. The deciding factor to me is a guy who's playing his former team, and it is Darren Sproles, because when he got back from his injury, he's been making play, and he's going back to the Dome. He hasn't been down there since 2014, and he had a huge role in the last time these squads played each other, with Nick Foles, of course, throwing a touchdown to Ertz. Sproles takes the kick back 39 yards, guys, as you guys are going to see here. And it takes, you know, magic to bring him down, because doing something like this is exactly what put the Saints with the ball on the Eagles side of the field to get them to kick the field goal to win and hand Nick Foles his only playoff loss. This Darren Sproles, who has come back, guys, do they even get to the playoffs without the over 100 yards and a touchdown from Sproles back in Week 16 against the Texans? No. And last week, held in check. This whole run game. Listen, they don't have Ajayi. They don't have LeGarrette Blount like they did. You want to control the clock with Drew Brees on the field? Probably. You couldn't run against the Bears. Well, guess what? The Saints have the #2 run defense right now in the league, right behind the Bears. If they can't run the ball, and we saw in moments against Chicago, at the goal line, couldn't get it to happen, they're going to struggle. So he will be huge in this one.
For me, I'm looking at that Chargers-Pats game. And
what you got?
It's two words. It's ground and pound. And when you hear those two words, it's usually the running game. You're talking about 3 yards in a cloud of dust. But I want to separate those for a second. The ground, it is Melvin Gordon and what he brings to the table and that balance for this Chargers offense. I mean, he's been the anchor to this squad. And even last week, he was a little banged up and still went out there. I think he was removed from the game, put on the extra knee brace, and then went out there and embraced the toughness of this Chargers team and was able to give them the balance that they need. They had 33 pass plays and 33 rush plays. So that gives Phillip Rivers the ability to not go out there and force things, which we've seen him do in the past. Now, the pound is QB hits. That's separate from the rushing game, and that's getting after Tom Brady. If you can get after Tom Brady, this is what we say every single game, every single postseason. If you can hit Tom Brady, you'll have a chance to win. But it's true in this case, though, with Melvin Ingram, Joey Bosa, the ground, control the ground with the narrative of the running game controlling the clock, and then the pound getting after Tom Brady like we're seeing right here, you'll have a better chance of beating the Pats, who have an advantage going into this game.
Unbelievable. I'm so fired up for these games. And I'm glad you brought up, too, Mike, the Eric Berry point for the Chiefs secondary. The time for waiting for him to be a savior, I think, is come and gone. I hope he's out there. I hope he makes plays. But I think we've been talking about it for 6 weeks now. Eric Berry's back. Other guys need to step up, or this season's going to be gone.
Recently, they have, though. They have takeaways. They're getting their hands on the ball, these Chiefs guys.
But that's going to be the key. It's not going to be limiting a team to 220 yards or something like that. It's going to be back to what we saw in that game against the Rams. Who's going to make a play? Who's going to make a turnover? That's the kind of defense that they're going to have to play in the postseason if they are going to win the Super Bowl. So look for that for them. If they can do it here, this is going to be a big key for them.
They got a game where Mahomes put up 50 and they lost, and Mahomes put up 40 and they lost. You don't want to lose 46-42 to Andrew Luck. I don't think they will go that way, but somebody has to make a change finally.
This is clearly the best offense this Colts defense is going to face, though.
Oh, without a doubt. They got to bring it.
Do you feel like they've been tested from a defensive standpoint? That's my only concern with the Colts defense.
They shut out the Dallas Cowboys, and that was incredible. But the Dallas Cowboys ain't the Chiefs on offense.
Their whole philosophy has been, let's keep everything in front of us. Let's make Deshaun Watson check the ball down. Let's see if they can play at that pace. That is something that teams have tried to do with the Chiefs. The difference is Mahomes will see it, and he'll still take the shot. And he'll say, hey, go ahead. I see what you're doing. I see the safety back there. Go ahead, make a play. I trust me. I trust the receiver.
They were able to mix up their looks versus Deshaun Watson, which gave that defense the advantage. They showed them blitzes. They brought pressures up the middle and a lot of zone. And Deshaun Watson, who goes through his progressions then and wants to take off and run, that didn't bode well for that offense. Now, if you do that to Mahomes, like you're saying, he'll sit back and he'll pick apart any zone you give him. If it's man-to-man coverage, Tyreek Hill will get open. I think the key to this game is bringing pressure and making sure it lands home. Because keep in mind, if you bring a blitz, that means somebody is left open. And if you have playmakers like Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce and that arm of Mahomes that can make any throw anywhere on the field, you'll get gashed.
Cannot wait to see how it goes. We will be making picks later on. Do not miss that. Now the LA Chargers heading to Foxborough on Sunday.